Once upon a time, the world of the microscopic microphone was the exclusive domain of 007 or maybe Maxwell Smart. My, how times have changed, and the consumer world is now exploding with miniature microphones, including the Hollyland Lark M2S. We'll unbox this little beauty and let you hear it straight ahead. Hi friends, Bill here. Welcome to Bill's Reviews and Tech Tips as we take an up-close look at the Hollyland Lark M2S. And I'll tell you at the outset a couple of things. Number one, they didn't send this to me, it was purchased. And number two, at the beginning of this video, I'm actually wearing the original Hollyland Lark M2. A little bit later on, you'll be able to hear a difference when we put on the M2S. But first and foremost, let's get things rolling with a little unboxing and see what is in this tiny package, because all reports indicate it packs a pretty powerful punch. So here's what we know. In the original Lark M2, the tiny size allows for a lot of flexibility in how you attach it, how you mount it, how you use it. And in fact, the original came with a number of different attachment options, from a little magnet like I'm using right now inside my shirt, to a necklace and to a clip, and all sorts of different options. So here with the M2S, let's unbox it together and see what we've got. I'm not going to take the time to spend too much energy explaining to you the manuals, but we do love that once again we end up with the case that will of course be rechargeable. This invention of the rechargeable case a few years ago, whoever did it first did it right, and now everybody, of course, is forced to follow suit. So I love that idea. This case, like most others, has a USB-C charging port in the back. It's very sturdy. It's a hard shell plastic case, and inside we have what we have come to expect. This is the combo kit, by the way. So we have the receiver that will plug into your DSLR. It has a cold shoe mount on it as well. We can dig into this all here in a little bit. We have the adapter that goes into a USB-C port. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. And then we have the stars of the show, which are the transmitters and their unique attachment capabilities. So there's that part. Let's continue in the unpackaging and see what's hiding underneath in the box here, because you know it has to come with a case. So here we have the carrying case, and let's see what's inside of that. More surprises. There should be a couple more surprises, a couple of connectors, and there's your dead mouse or dead cat for your windscreen. So we have the charging cable, standard USB-C to a USB-C. That's to be expected these days. And we have 1/8 inch to 1/8 inch accordion cord. So this can go from the receiver into your DSLR and plug into the 1/8 inch port. And then in this little container, let's see what we have in here. I kind of wondered if this would be the case. We have a bit of an adapter. You cannot leave out the iPhone people, right? So in here we have a USB-C to a Lightning adapter, which helps a great deal because you just can't, you can't ignore the iPhone folks. And one of the things that I've come to appreciate about Hollyland is that when you get their combo kits, you don't have to go and buy other devices or other adapters or other connectors. It's pretty much all right there for you. And that is, other than the silica gel pack that is everywhere, that's what you get in the box. We've got the case, we've got the cables, we've got the receiver that goes into your DSLR. We also have the Bluetooth receiver that goes into USB-C. We have that adapter that can help make that go into your iPhone as well. So we've got lots of options in that regard. And then, of course, we come to the star of the show, which is the actual microphone itself. Now, we're talking about small, we're talking about tiny, and unlike the original Lark M2, we're talking about a limited number of ways to mount this on your apparel. You may remember the days of the DJI mic and the Mic 2, because those days are still here. and how clunky they look when they are attached to your jacket or to your shirt. In fact, I refuse to just use that transmitter because it's just too big. So I always run a lavalier mic into it. In the case of the Hollyland, there's a very sturdy clip that goes on the back. The microphone itself, of course, is going to stay on the outside. And this is it. Now, we're talking about microscopic, super tiny microphones that, my friends, if you're clever enough in how you put these onto your apparel, nobody's ever going to see them. So what we're going to do now is, as I said, you've been listening to the audio from the original Lark M2. We're going to switch things up a little bit and put on the Lark M2S, let you see and hear how it looks and sounds. Okay, we have made the switch from the original Lark M2 over to the Lark M2S, and as you take an up-close look at how this attaches, you talk about a minimal footprint or thumbprint on your apparel. That's it. It just hooks onto a collar somewhere, or it would tuck into a pocket. And while you're listening now to the sound of this microphone, let me give you a little update on some of the specs, the technical specs. The transmitter, this little thing, weighs 7 grams. It's the lightest wireless mic in the industry. It's got a 48 kilohertz, 24-bit sample rate and depth, high fidelity audio. What you are hearing right now, I have not tweaked in post at all. I want you to hear it like it is. So a few moments ago, you got to hear the original M2. Now you hear the M2S. You can draw your own conclusions. It's got a 300 meter or about 1,000-foot range, and it's pretty good regarding interference. In a couple of moments, I'm going to walk out of the studio around a couple of walls and through a lot of electronics into another studio. You won't see me, but you'll be able to hear how well that claim holds up. Powerful noise cancellation. Listen, it's 9 degrees outside and it's blowing like 40 miles an hour. I care about you, but I'm not going outside. Plus it's dark. So you're going to have to test the noise cancellation for yourself. Of course, it's got the discrete hidden mic design. How about this? Up to 30 hours of battery life. That's pretty cool and really rare, especially since it's so small. And easy to use, universally compatible. Again, you've got a USB-C connector, a USB-C to Lightning adapter, and you've also got the 1/8 inch to 1/8 inch to go right directly into your DSLR. So let me do this. I'm going to leave the studio for a second. I'm going to walk what will amount to be about 65 to 75 feet away. Now, right now, I'm roughly 15 feet away, but my back is directly to the camera. So my body is in between the M2S and the camera. Now I'm stepping in to the farthest reaches, like a storage area, and I am easily 45, 50 feet away from the device. I don't know how it sounds right now. Well, I'll discover that together as I start to walk back into the space and test whether or not it can really hold up with a fair amount of interference. So as we make our way back into the studio, I'm as curious as you are. Well, you probably already know the answer as to how this held up during my little walk through what would theoretically be a fair amount of interference. I love the smallness of this unit. I do wish that it had some other options for how it attaches, but that's really what the original M2 is all about. It's got 3 or 4 different ways you can attach it. This version is what it is. It's going to go on your collar, it's going to go in a pocket, and it's so discreet. If you're interviewing a guest, can you imagine a simpler setup than taking the other one of these out of the case, having it automatically connect via Bluetooth to your receiver, and being ready to start the interview within seconds? Now, a quick reminder, these devices do not have internal recording capabilities like the DJI does. So you just got to kind of keep that in mind and make sure that your connection is stable and solid and it sounds like you want it to before you get into the meat of your project. You don't want to get any of those surprises on the back end. But to this point, I've been very impressed with the Hollyland Lark M2S, and I think you will be as well. Thanks for checking out Bill's Reviews and Tech Tips. Hope you'll subscribe, and we'll see you next time.